What's going on everyone, and welcome back to another video. My name is Soman and today I'm going to analyze the Champions League game between Tottenham and Ajax. So Tottenham lined up in a 3-4-3 formation, but they shifted to a back four after going 1-0 down. And their new formation was more like 4-3-3, with Danny Rose moving to the midfield. While Ajax on the other hand lined up in a 4-3-3 formation on paper, but on the ground they mostly kept a 4-2-3-1 formation with Van de Beek playing at the number 10 position. The start of the game from Ajax was really good and they looked totally dominant in the first half. Tottenham found it really hard to deal with Ajax's quick shift of play from one end to the other end. Ajax tried to create overloads on one side of the ground and they tried to draw the Tottenham players on one end to open up spaces on the other side. So as we can see here, Ajax are trying to create overload on the right side and they are forcing the Tottenham players on one side to open up the spaces on the other side. They created the overload on one side and that has opened up spaces on the other side for a quick shift of play. Ajax quick shift of play to free Ziyech in a 1v1 position against Trippier. Here again, Tottenham players are drawn to the right side and now a quick shift of play is available against Trippier, who is left in a 1v2 position. Van de Beek's central run takes Trippier away. Ziyech's quick shift of play to the left and Tagliafico is now free in so much space. Tagliafico receives the ball and Trippier moves out to cover him, and that leaves the Tottenham centre-back in a 1v2 position inside the box. Tagliafico to Tadic and his one-touch pass to free Van de Beek. Alderweireld couldn't do anything in that 1v2 position. Van de Beek was in the assist zone, and when you are in the assist zone, the first thing you do is try to find a teammate in the golden zone, if he can be found easily. For those of you who haven't watched the attacking zones video, they can click the link in the description to understand these attacking zones. Neres was totally free in the golden zone, and he had a simple tap in, but Van de Beek made the wrong choice, and Ajax missed a golden opportunity. See the reaction of Ziyech. He is also pointing towards the central zone, where Neres had a simple tap in, if Van de Beek had tried to pick him. Another big issue for Tottenham in this game was Ajax's high press. Tottenham is a team that likes to play out from the back, but Ajax's compact high press made it very difficult for Tottenham to build from the back. Man-oriented high press and Tadic's curved run is keeping the wide option blocked, and he is forcing Hugo Lloris to go the other way. Hugo Lloris plays a wasteful long pass under pressure and Tottenham lose possession. Again, cutting all the passing options of the man in possession and forcing him to go long. Tottenham again forced to go long and Ajax easily win possession. Tottenham played a total of 29 wasteful long passes in this game, which means they gifted the possession to Ajax 29 times. But as the game progressed, Tottenham figured out a way to bypass Ajax high press using Fernando Llorente. So Lucas Moura and Fernando Llorente, they swapped their positions and Llorente played on the right side against Daily Blind. And Tottenham used Fernando Llorente as a target man to win the first ball against Daily Blind. So we can see here that Tottenham are trying to use Fernando Llorente as a target man to win the first ball against Daily Blind. Fernando Llorente wins the first ball and lays it off for Dele Alli. Here again, Llorente wins the first ball and again he lays it off for Dele Alli. Fernando Llorente won 100% of his offensive aerials in this game. He won a total of 17 aerial duels. Another important man for Ajax in this game was Tadic. During the build-up phase, Frenkie de Jong often moved in the defensive line and made it back 3. Frenkie de Jong drops in the defense and makes it back 3, which enables Ajax to push their fullbacks high and wide. The wingers were moving narrow to pull the Tottenham fullbacks in to create spaces on the flanks for the high fullbacks. Since De Jong was dropping in the defense, so Shone was often left alone in the midfield. And that's where Tadic showed his all-around skills and started to drop back in the midfield. Frenkie de Jong has dropped in the defense, and now Shone is the only man available in the midfield for a central penetration. So we can see here that Tadic has dropped in between the lines and is creating overload 2v1 against Wanyama. and makes himself available as a passing option for central penetration. Shifting to a back three enabled Ajax to push their fullbacks high up the pitch. Tadic drops back, he receives the ball and plays it to the fullback who is free on the flank, as Trippier was forced narrow by Neres. Tadic had a very good game, and he was involved not only in the attacking third but in the midfield third as well. Tadic once again drops in between the lines and none of the Tottenham centre-backs are following him. He receives the pass with time and space and plays a first-time ball behind the line for Van de Beek. In my last Ajax analysis video, I talked about the distance in between their lines and how Juventus were often able to exploit it. We saw a very similar situation in this game as well. Once again, big gap in between Ajax line and Tottenham looking to exploit that gap by dropping players in that space. We all know that Eriksen has a great passing range, and this is where Tottenham needed someone like Son up front, who is one of the best in the league at making runs behind the high defensive line. Eriksen's pass to Fernando Llorente, who was in a 1v1 position, but he couldn't do anything. Eriksen once again finding spaces in between the lines and dictating Tottenham's play. Tottenham's real chances in this game came from the set pieces, as they had a significant hard advantage over Ajax. In the second half, Tottenham pushed their fullbacks high up the pitch in search of an equalizer. And that's when Ajax had some really good chances to hit Tottenham on transitions. Tottenham lose possession and both of their fullbacks are caught out of their position. Tadic moves to the wide channel to make himself available to hit Tottenham on transitions. Both fullbacks are caught out of position and Tadic exploits the wide left channel and Van de Beek exploits the right wide channel. Tadic's pass to Van de Beek was not a great one, otherwise Ajax had a great goal scoring opportunity. Ajax wide overloads and their compact high press during the first half made things really difficult for Tottenham. Tottenham started the game in a very defensive way, and Ajax took full advantage of it. So what is your prediction for the second leg? Comment below and let me know. Thank you so much guys for watching the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.